Hello and welcome to day three, the Millionaire Identity. Excited for day three. Day three is, how do we say it? It's the state. It's the being of who you are. And over these last couple of days, we've gone into my journey, right? And it's about who are you choosing today? And over these last 2 days, you've seen my journey, right? You've seen the moments that shape me and the decisions I'm now making. I'm making them from who I am being, right? But today isn't about me. You've heard it. Now it's about you. Today is all about you. Who are you being? Because everything you felt over these last couple of days, any kind of pull, the expansion, the knowing, that's yours. Feeling and trusting in yourself, having that belief in yourself. You know, there was quite a few of you that, have lost jobs because you want more. You've called in to have more. Starting a new business. I know some of you message me. Some of you are in real estate. Some of you have companies and you want more. You want to have this knowing of this business and expansion and trusting yourself in all of those moves. And when I think back and I had my company and I listened to all of those little nudges. And we're going to get a little deeper into this today because the mirror, right? We talk about mirror and I talk about it in so many ways because right now you already know what you want. You felt it, you feel it. Your nudge was to join this masterclass, right? Your nudge was to say yes to yourself. Your nudge was to get up and go for that run. Your nudge was to eat whatever it is that you ate to make your body feel healthy. This is what's happening every single moment in our lives. It's not just one day it happens. It happens every single moment. You are being guided from source energy, manifestation, and it's all coming from God. I call God is the bigger thing out there, right? And I'm going to start speaking more of this language because it is absolutely what you are being guided by and guided to. It's this pull we feel. It's like dating a guy. You feel this, ooh, I like him, right? And buying a house, no different. You go in, you walk in, you're like, oh, this is beautiful. It's just a feeling. But sometimes when we're doing things for ourselves, in our business, in our posting on Reels, posting on Facebook, doing a podcast, whatever it is, hiring another person into your business, hiring staff, we don't listen. We feel it and we stop because of fear. And it's really just an old programming in your all consciousness. And that's not your intuition. That's not your highest self. That's not you being in your truth. Your truth knows. It knows it without a shadow of a doubt, right? But we live in this human experience, which we talked about yesterday. And that human experience can make you feel fear. You think the outside world is what is real. But we know that what we want in life is having the trust and the faith and having a dream that we dream about, right? Someone yesterday talked about they have their vision board on there. And I had a vision board up and I changed it. I said this yesterday. I changed it before I went to California. I put a different photo on there for this dream home that was offered in Australia. And here I got, and I just realized it the other day, was that dream home actually happened, but it didn't happen in the way I expected it to. It happened in that kind of look of that house was where I went to Malibu. So isn't it just beautiful that that's what I thought and felt, and it came in a different way, right? Everything is always coming in your best way, usually better than you expected it. That's why when we want something, we don't want to have this attachment to you want to make $10,000 this month. And then when you don't make it, you feel unworthy. You feel not successful. You've got to allow it. You've got to just trust it. It comes when you are in the right vibration of it. And this is even getting a little bit deeper today, but I really want to get this feeling in you of who you are being now, and trusting, as I do every day. Every day, trusting and making those decisions that this is what I'm meant to do. So when I had this feeling, okay, of going to California, it came even before I had gone to see my family. I felt it in my body that I was not meant to live here anymore in Australia. I felt it. It was like, I just can't stay here. I just knew it. And it just took me a little while to say yes. But when I went to California, it's like almost 2 weeks ago now, a week and a half ago, I knew that this was going to be different this time, that this was going to be like me having a baby step of what does that feel like? And originally I only booked that trip for, I think it was 5 days. And then when Sasha passed, I extended it a couple extra days to give me a little extra time, which I'm so grateful for, because it really did make a difference. I got a chance to feel it, to be in Santa Monica, like, ooh, I like it. I love it here. Like, I just love the vibe in Santa Monica. And that's what gets you closer to your what your desire is, right? The want that you want in your life. So all of this is about the identity that we are being, and then moving into the next identity, which is, you know, having whatever it is in your life that you want, moving towards it, not staying stuck in the human mind and fear and not feeling worthy enough or love enough. And that is what keeps you from your higher state. And you feel that energy, right? You feel that, you know that. So when we look at the rear, right? When we look in the mirror, I want you to look at it, but not in your logical mind. I want you to feel it in your body. What feels good? What feels like, this would be great? Because that is your truth. Your truth is a feeling in your body. Your truth is the knowing of you are meant for more, right? The knowing to, yes, I'm going to do this thing. Yes, I'm going to show up. Like, Marissa, today you came in, obviously you had time and you were able to come on today, right? Your intuition saw the email and you went, yes, I'm going to get on that, which is so beautiful. So this is what we must listen to. It's who we are. And when you get out of sync with that, you know when you're not in your right, truest self, your divine self. It's all about the choices we make every single day. Who are you choosing to be? Because you can feel it, right? Like, think about when you go shopping. Women know how to shop, right? So you go into a shop, and I'm just going to use something a little more luxurious. You go into either a Louis Vuitton shop, or you go into, I'm just going to with Louis because that's what came to me. You go into Louis Vuitton, you find a bag and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this. You know, you have the money, you know, you can buy it, but then you start thinking and doubting yourself, like, oh, should I buy this? It's really, you know, I don't really want to put it on my credit card. You start making excuses. That's what happens. But if you actually loved it and just had it, you would just, you know, use it. But your fear can come in when you're going to actually make the decision. It is programmed. It isn't something that, it's just reprogramming this subconscious into your truth. The human mind is the one that doesn't want you to move forward. It wants to keep you really small, right? Keep you safe in this life that you're in. So this is where I want you to think about your body. How does it feel every day? What feels good for you today? That quiet pull, that desire for more, that knowing, that's where you are. And isn't it? It's like you just know it. But most women just ignore it because you're so in the logical mind rather than being in the state of being, right? The millionaire identity and the millionaire standard, we know that that is just a program. And the more that we get to understand our subconscious, we get to reprogram it consciously to say, oh no, that's not who I am. That's not my truth. That's not who I'm, that's not my state of being. So before you even think about decisions, I want you to check in with yourself right now. Like, how do you feel in your body right now, in yourself? How are you actually feeling? Are you feeling open? Do you feel calm? Do you feel clear? Or is your body kind of tight, contracted, and overthinking? I mean, you've got somebody here who's actually listening on the call and working. So it'll be interesting when you do this process, right? When you get home and you maybe re-listen to this training today, this class, and you think about, how is your body feeling? What is it that you really truly want in your life? And I just want to say Tracy's here as well. Melissa, if you do say anything, Tracy's on my team. I'll just give her permission as well. Tracy's been traveling as well. So I think she's at the airport. Isn't this so beautiful that we can do this like all over the world in so many different ways? I think it's just beautiful how all this technology has changed our lives, right? So the state of where you are, because that feeling is where you want to be making your decisions in your life. So intuition versus fear, right? It's your truth is actually very simple. It's the one, it's not loud, it's not chaotic. It actually doesn't even over-explain. So if you think about where I was, right? I went to California, got off, as soon as I landed and got off the plane, it was like home. Immediately, I felt I'm at home. Wasn't loud, wasn't chaotic. It was just like quiet and like, oh, I just love it here. My heart just opened. I was open to everything. Your truth feels calm. It feels clear. It feels like a quiet knowing of everything. And when you finally really sink into that, that's where your life changes. That's where you start doing more in your business, in your life, in every area. But fear is loud, right? We've all felt it. It is loud. It rules you. It rushes you. It makes you question everything, and it loops. It continuously loops because you're putting so much attention to it, right? You're focused on it. So if you're focused on the fear, what's going to come? More fear. It is just how it is because you're so focused on it rather than focus on the love and the joy. That's where everything comes. That's when you step into your grandest, highest self and you trust yourself to go, yes, I'm going to go do this. Yes, I'm going to do this. Okay. So today is about being open to your grandest self, listening to who you are, not the chaos that is happening around you, not other people's opinions about you, staying truly in who you are. Who you are. That's all that matters. So the question is, right? What actually feels true for you? What feels true? My truth was I am ready to go back to North America. It was unwavering. Unwavering. I did set, of course, you wobble a little bit in that brain, a little bit. Last night I was awake thinking about stuff, trying to control what's happening here. I got to do this, you know? But then I go, no, it's all going to work out because I'm in my highest state of being. I know what I want. I know this is the right move. And I have total faith. So when you trust in everything we do, that's the magic, right? That's where you start to open up. That's where the abundance flows in, the relationships, everything in your life. So did I just wake up one day and think I'm going to move? No. It started from probably a couple of years ago, right? I've been coming to California since I was 18. I think I was around 18 when I first came to Los Angeles. And I've had many, many times there. My girlfriend lived there. It was always like a stopover from Australia. So I had another business that I did, and we did a conference always in Vegas. So every time I did that for over 10 years, I stopped in California and I always had a few days there. I stayed with a girlfriend who lived there, or I stayed in a hotel, and I just enjoyed. I didn't really back then realize, because I was married then, that this was actually probably a part of my journey that I wasn't even aware of that was happening. Like, think about something like that for yourself, something that you didn't even realize, and then you all of a sudden see. It's like almost being in the gym with a guy. Let's just think about relationships, because you can relate to that. You go, you see this guy in the gym, you start chatting with him, and then all of a sudden it could be a year, it could be 3 months, and then all of a sudden you start dating, right? It's all of our experience are happening for us. It's a matter, are you paying attention? So obviously when I was in California in the beginning, I wasn't thinking about it. But then I remember when I was there thinking about, I like it here. I like the feeling of it. But of course I was married, so I wouldn't think it was going to happen. But that was an intuitive feeling and experience that I know I was missing in my life, right? Being over there. So these little moves that have happened even just recently came from me knowing and trusting. And then, yeah, I come home and I'm making I'm changing my life completely. So it starts with a feeling. There was no big plan in all of that, right? It was just a feeling. I listened to myself. I didn't have, even when I started my business, I had no business degree. I listened to my intuition. I listened to my body, what I wanted to do. And you're all here. And I know every single one of you, even when you're watching the replay, you are here. I have heard from you. Some of you starting new businesses. Some of you are changing your business. Some are in real estate. Some of you have companies. And you've joined the masterclass. And I know there's a lot of you, I think, in Europe, and the time zone is so different. But you're still here. You can still make a change. So I want you to start thinking about what feels right. What feels right for you? That's your intuition, right? So when we've been on talking about identity, and you want to upgrade your identity, so what does that next move feel like for you? You don't always have the full picture. Sometimes it's contemplation. Like when I was thinking, I still don't have the big picture. Here I am, like this is true life in this quantum leap at the moment. And that's why I was up last night thinking, because I don't know where I'm going. Like I am literally selling everything. Sometimes I think I should keep my bed and my mattress because I love my mattress. I was thinking about that when I was in bed last night, how much I love my bed, right? And maybe I might, but I don't know where my life is taking me. How easy would you be doing that? Most people are making small decisions. So I want to give you a comparison of what the difference is. There are really big things that are happening in some people's lives. It could be a divorce, could be even having a baby, right? Moving house is a big one. Buying a new house. And some of your decisions can be small ones and you're making them feel so big when they're really just something that you need to move into as a standard, a new standard for yourself. I was sitting here this morning and I'm thinking this house was so important, but not in the house. You know what the house did for me? It reminded me of my truth. It reminded me of my highest divine self. It was a stretch financially for me. And I couldn't say no because my intuition, my body was screaming, yes. I had looked at other alternatives that were less expensive. And I went, no, 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 I'm not doing that. I wanted to be somewhere that expanded me and stretched me. And I wanted to feel good in my house. So I did. And I was thanking it this morning. I was walking around saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's emotional. Closing a chapter. Thanks, Trace. It's all coming up, right? So bear with me. Wow. The best thing about this masterclass is coming in and seeing me go through stuff. Seeing how the emotional stuff and the human side of me. And I have full faith and trust. You have to, because I know I'm not meant here anymore. My heart is not here. I feel I've already drifted from here. It's already closed chapter for me. And that feels really good in my body. It's like, okay, I'm good. But it's still emotional, right? Thank you. Whew. It's the state I'm in. And this is what the state of being means. It's the truth. And your truth is also in emotion and being expressive with it, allowing the emotions to go through and out. How did I heal so fast from my dog? If you've had a dog, anyone knows. Most people say it takes years. I've had people message me, oh, it took months, it took years. I chose not for that to happen. I said, no, I'm not listening to that. I understand this work. I understand how emotions need to be expressed and you need to feel them so you can move through them. So obviously right now, this is letting go of an identity that I've lived here 23 years. Think of it as a marriage. I was married for 23 years. So it's like a double whammy, I feel, in some ways, right? The emotion of leaving. Don't think about my marriage at all. Don't worry. It's more just, I have been here. I became an Aussie. So this is the state of being, and it is emotional. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, right? Seeing me actually go through this to understand that trusting, I'm not meant for here. It was full blown. Going to California, I was a different person. And I know Tracy was there. Maybe you can pop that in the chat because Marissa hasn't been on the call. I was different. My energy, it was exciting. It was so expansive. And I'm still there, but I'm just in a different process at the moment, right? Because now I'm letting go. I'm letting go of this identity. And this is what you're all doing here. This is why you're on this call. You want to upgrade your identity. It's not just saying, I'm in a new identity, I'm a millionaire, I'm making 10K a month. You've got to embody this person. The embodiment is everything, and it is a feeling and a knowing, and you act different. These are the acts that I'm different. Yes, I acted on it. So there's two parts, right, of all of these identities. It's embodiment of it, expressing her, and acting upon it. You have to take the action. That's the inspired action of what you truly are called to do. I was called 2 years ago from doing weight loss, which was not inspiring me at all, to doing what I'm doing now. But even last year, it was still kind of in between, what I was speaking of, who I was. I was trying to figure it out. It was a little bit of a middle of you know, figuring it out, which is all good. It's part of the human experience. It's part of your growth. Because remember, this is a growth journey. This is growth, ladies. This is not anything but growth. Identity, houses, money, everything is about growth. And it's you growing into the woman that you need to be to hold the capacity, to hold the wealth, to hold the standard of who you desire to be. Your business will grow as fast as you grow. Your life will expand and grow as fast as you grow and expand. Ah, great. We've all been there, Marissa. Tracy too. And marriage's impact, I think it's probably like, who doesn't go? Before I was ever divorced, when people said they were going through a separation, I had no attachment to it because we haven't been there, right? But when you go through things, you feel it. Like when friends have come to me and said, I'm going through a separation, I'm like, oh, like everyone does that. I remember when I told my closest friends, everyone gave me the, oh, and now I understand why. Like it was this woman. Really? I'm finding it so hard. Oh, that's lovely, Marissa. I want to keep you inspired, girl. Okay. It's tough, but it's going to grow. You're going to grow from it. And I'm going to share a little story that I had. This beautiful lady came because she's in a separation. She's got 2 kids. And she came to look at the house because she's got to sell her. She's on a huge property, 35 acres. So that's going to be a long sale. Her husband, they're not divorced yet, has already found a new partner. He's over in North America, like in the States. She came and looked at the house, and oh, her energy, you could feel it, right? She's just in such she's not in a good place. And I kind of was saying, watch the children, because her daughter's there and she's being but some people, it's hard. It's a tough situation. But when kids are in there too, it's even harder. So if you have kids, I sending you so much love. Stay connected. Connect with us, Marissa. Tracy will connect with you in the DM. So reach out to her to help you, because we're here to help you. Ooh, 333. There we go. And I was just saying, reach out, because we've all been there and we're here to support you in all ways. Okay. This isn't just about, we're just here. We're women. We're women here to help. Okay. So I've got off track, but yeah, that divorce, that took me a long time to come into myself. It was a huge, it's growth. It's so much growth. I just ran this morning, and there was a girl, Louise. I've watched her date. She's been online dating guys and fast, and they'd come in and then they're out and then they're back in and then they're out. And she met this guy, and again, online, not under a year. Anyway, and we've seen them together and they're engaged. They got engaged. He asked her to marry him when they were over in Japan skiing. And I just ran into them and I said, I was so happy for them. They're just, and he even said, he goes, I had to earn her, right? So she had been through enough that she remembered who she was. She remembered and said, I'm not putting up with any more. And she held that space for herself, the wholeness, the self-love, and the worthiness. And it was so beautiful how they opened up and shared this with me. And because I've only, I run with them, but not all the time. And it was so beautiful. And I said to her and to her husband to be, I said, well, you guys are just my sign, right? Because everything can be a sign if you choose it to be. And it was just like, you're my sign. And I said to them, I know my man is in California. Like, I just know it. You can't, like, it's a knowing in your gut, right? So I know for you, Marissa, you're knowing right now, you're probably in a little bit of fight and flight, which I'm going to talk about that nervous system. So it's perfect that you're on this because that nervous system, whew, it is the CEO. Okay. Our nervous system is the CEO running the show in our life and business. And this is where we have to know how to stabilize it. Like when it is a real yes, and yet you're not in survival. When you're in survival mode, that nervous system is just so fast. You're reacting to life. All right. So we get that. So please make sure, connect with Trace. We've got you, girl. Okay. We're here to support you in all areas. But let me get backtrack on, I love sharing and talking about my personal experiences so you can really see what this looks like. My transformation, it's just like, wow, right? Because I follow that intuition. I refuse to let fear ever stop in my way. And your divorce, you're going to come out of there 10 times smarter, acknowledged. You're going to have boundaries. You're going to come back stronger than you've ever been. Ever been. My first mentor after my first couple, sorry, not my first, I've always had them. I joined her program for my mental state. No joke. To get the awareness around and how to let go. And that's an identity. Okay. And I joined to change my identity. And that would have been 4 years ago. And boy, it was gone. So we have you. Okay. So, where are we here? So where I am right now and like making these changes, I was saying like, these are big things. Like even my mom and dad, when I was on the call, like they're like, it's such a big thing. And I said, yeah, it is, but I don't want it to feel big. So I'm being really mindful that I don't say this is a big thing. It's just moving. Just moving so that it feels easy in my body. So I do this work that I coach on, right? I don't want it to feel like it's this big ordeal and it's like heavy, right? It's just like step shop, getting rid of things, selling my beautiful items. But I was talking about being so grateful in this house because I listened to my intuition and how I did that, even with fear. Even though I wasn't sure how this was going to work out, I just did it anyway. And what this house did for me, it reminded me of my power, of my worthiness, of my self-love, all of it. That identity, I came back into the multi-millionaire identity in this year, in this house. And I only just acknowledged her today. And she's been beautiful to me. And she's going to go to a beautiful couple that are going to love her and cherish her. And they're coming in for a year and they're buying my beautiful furniture and everything I have in the house because it's all brand new. Because that's what I know and I believe. So the belief is everything. The belief is everything in your journey. If I believed that this move was going to be disastrous, do you think it would be disastrous or do you think it would be the best thing? And I'm saying it's going to quantum leap my life, my business, my relationships, my friends. Which one would you choose? You have to choose and be in your highest state. Your highest state is your truth. And even you, Marissa, you know a little bit where she is. You'll remember before you got married, before you went all through this. Every one of us, you will remember what your highest state is. When you are watching this and you've been on the replays, this is the most powerful last day of any of the 3 days that you should watch, because this is your truth speaking right now to you, that you are a powerful woman. You know who you are. You love yourself. You have confidence. You have strength within you to do anything. And your mind is the thing that you need to get in the game and start being her, and stop letting fear get in your way and make you small, make you not fear, make you fearful, lose your confidence. Like, that is just ridiculous, right? I'm calling you up into your highest state, because you have felt it multiple times in your life. And maybe you've forgotten who you are, like I did coming out of my marriage. I was not this person. I had to remember and remember and remember and remember and remember and remember. And it was so fun yesterday when I was talking to my parents, because I have a book. And I know the reason the book hasn't found a publisher yet is because it's all part of the move. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. And it was only speaking to my parents the other day that I actually think I came up with the name of my book, which I'm not sharing. But it was just like this soul of, oh, this is what it's going to be called. See how all of these intuition things are always coming. But they don't come rushing around. They're not coming when you're rushing and you're in fear and you're not trusting yourself. They come when you surrender into being. I do not work traditionally as I used to. There's a big difference now in how I work in the sense of who I am. And this is a standard. Everything is intuitively done every day. The hours I work, the playtime I have, the relaxed time I have, the rest I have, all of it. Some days I work 4 hours, some days I work 2 hours, some days I work 8 hours. I am soul-led, as all of you are. You just have forgotten that you are. And I'm reminding you here today that this is who you are. We get to choose her every single day, every moment of the day. Or you get to stay small and let fear be on autoplay that controls your whole day, your whole 2 days, 3 days, a whole week. And we've all been there. I just know now how not to believe it and how to swing back real fast. It's consciousness. It's the consciousness of who I'm being. And that's the sweet spot of your identity changing into the most high-powered, empowered state and being. And your business takes off from that. The identity is where is the creator of your business, of the money, of the relationships. So don't you want to be in control of the creation? Don't you want to be knowing and trusting yourself with every move that you make, rather than second guessing it and listening to the human mind? I want you to lean in today, ladies. I want you to really lean in and sit here right now and go, who am I being right now? Am I being confident today? Am I being kind today? Am I being loving today? What brought you into this room? Jumping on this call with me today? It's what had you say yes to the masterclass. Wasn't random. This was your inner guidance, right? It's our inner soul, inner guidance. So the real question is, like, do you listen to her? Do you listen to it? Or are you overriding it with the fear and the logic and the overthinking? Because your intuition will guide you to everything you want, but only if you trust it enough to follow it. And this is where the nervous system comes into play. If your nervous system, so I know we talked about money yesterday, right? Wealth. And so when I went through my separation and my healing, and even when I was divorced, my nervous system was so spiked, right? It was just like red alert, running from the tiger. So decisions were fast or like cautious. I felt the intuition to do something or buy something in a shop, and I'd go, no, can't, fear of money, right? It was all of that. And I've been there. And if your nervous system, if that doesn't get controlled, we get sick from that. People get seriously ill. It is so important to have a calm nervous system. And I know for me, because I was in it for so long, and the only reason I didn't get sick was because I ate well, I worked out, and I was meditating. Those three things kept me in a state of relax, right? As often as I could. But your nervous system is got to be calm, because when it is not regulated, you're making decisions. You're not making decisions from your truth. You're reacting from fear. Yeah. And when your body's in fear, oh, wow, right? It's heavy. It's like going, it's on auto. It's just that nervous energy. When I couldn't have sat and surrendered in the afternoon. I was always overworking, doing the opposite, keeping myself super busy, overthinking everything, doubting myself, pulling back. There was no certainty. It was just all right. And I was looking for certainty. And we know that certainty is within us. The certainty is when you have a calm nervous system. Then we react from it. You can hear it, right? You feel it. You can feel what's right, and you move from that place. So really lean into that right now. How are you feeling in your body? What does it feel like? Because your next level needs to be regulated, not just a smart mind, right? It doesn't come from the logical mind. You have to feel it in your body, because otherwise you say, I'm going to go and do something, but then fear will pop back up. So we need to help you move into this with reprogramming all of those old patterns. They're all just old identity and old patterns in your life. Okay. The version of you, who waits and doubts and stays where they are, right? And that can be in a job, a relationship, just staying in the same comfort zone, whatever that is. It's not the version of you who's living a millionaire standard. Because that woman, she trusts herself. She listens to her intuition. She moves even when it's uncomfortable. As I've shared with you, every time I move, it's uncomfortable. And I choose the expansion. So you want to be choosing that expansion, because in the unknown, in all that unknown is exactly where things happen. It's not in the staying the same, it's in the unknown. So the more that you go and take that next leap, You're like, woo, can't wait. Another expansion, a next identity. Okay. See the difference in knowing and trusting? And as you said, like, as I explained to you, even the other day or last night, I still had stuff, right? Even though I'm super excited and I'm going and it's done, of course, sometimes it's going to come up. It's going to be like, oh my God, what are you doing, Yvonne? Right? But I don't stay there because I'm like, no, this is my truth. I'm going for it. And you know, when I make these decisions and I'm like, nope, 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 I get this video on Instagram and it's Mel Robbins and I don't know, a whole stack of guys. And they're all talking about go and do it. You know, like you've got to risk in life. You've got to go for it. That is where these women and men are changing lives, are having their biggest year financially, is because they go and they risk it. Because the only risk is not doing it. The only thing that you're not doing is calling in the next level, changing how you look at things, changing how you're being, the state of being, the identity of where you are. To have more, you have to be different. It starts with the identity. It starts with how you're moving, how you take action. Okay? Does that feel good? Should feel good in your body when you're sitting there thinking about this, because our state, it's available to all of us, right? This isn't just available to me. This is all available. We're all available to all of it. We live in a limitless world. So don't you want to be in it? Rather than being small and scared and fear of doing the same. We want to be ourselves. We want to be authentic, and we want to be speaking our truth. And that is actually really easy to do when you trust yourself, right? It all comes from trust. So the woman, your highest self, your highest person, your vision of yourself, who trusts herself, listens to her intuition, moves even when it's uncomfortable, then chooses expansion. Because both versions of you exist. The fearful, the trust, the faith. But only one of them is landing in your life. Only one of them is leading your life. More importantly, so who do you want to be leading as? Your highest divine self that's empowered, that's confident, that's strong, that's open to change, open vessel to money and abundance, because that is your truth. Your truth is always there. So which one are you being today? I would assume that right now on this call, you feel your highest self. You're in your truth. If you can put a yes in the comments, that would be great. I'd love to know. So what if this moment right now, this feeling in your body, this pull is actually the moment that's meant for you to move into your next level? Imagine. Imagine that. What would that look like? How would you feel? Like, if you're here and you're going into a new business, how would it feel going into your new business with such amazing, your truth of yourself, seeing, knowing that you're going to make whatever that money is, and how many clients you're going to serve, how many houses you're going to sell, how many, maybe new employees that are coming into your company so that you can expand? How would that feel? I get goosebumps. I love that expansion. And this is how we hold you in that space, right? When you come from that place, when you're ready to say yes to yourself. Because it's not about us, not about me. It's saying yes to you. I want more. I want support. I want to have more. You have to decide every time, and we don't decide from delay, because the delay is where all of a sudden you go back into fear. It is what it's what our brain is meant to do. The intuition is in the beginning when you feel like, oh my gosh, I want to know more. I want to hear more. You don't need it. I want to be really clear on this. You never need anything. I want you to want to expand. I want you to want to be better, to want to have your next level identity. Need makes it feel that you don't have it. You have everything. Okay, there's very different feeling, isn't it? Like, why do you don't want to need. It's like being in a dating, like how I explained this, because I did the dating thing for a couple of times. And like some of the guys were so needy, right? Oh, you're perfect, la la. And it was just like, whoa, right? You don't want to need anything. But if you want to have that hand held, you want support in where you're going in this next path, then we're here to support you. Okay. And in the Diamond Ascension, there's two pathways. The first one is your identity shift. And this is where you're in our space for 3 months, and you're going to expand. You're going to let go. You're going to reprogram. You're going to get rid of anything that's been going on. This is what I had to do for my life, right? When I was coming out of my separation, it was all about, I got to reprogram what's going on up here. This is in the nervous system, right? So that's the identity shift. And that's 3-month container, which is so beautiful because you're expanding, you're shifting, you're changing. And if you are ready and listening to this and you're ready for that next level, the millionaire identity, that is a 6-month container. And this is where you're choosing you now. You have really decided that you want more in life. And you will be held in both those containers. So which one feels like your next move? Which one would you feel and love to be in and have that support with us? So I want to ask yourself, before we leave today, I want you to think like there are pathways in life every day. I could have stayed here in Australia. I could have. I couldn't though. My intuition was like, you are leaving. And it was a hell yes. Even though, yeah, you know what the cost is for all of that, right? Getting movers in, storing my things. I even had to ask them, like, when they go to store, how do I get it? Because I don't want to have to come back to Australia. And they can actually get it to the shipping container and then there. So there's another expense, right? Couple of things in there. And it was just like, okay, I don't care anymore. I'm moving forward because I want more. I want to be in North America. The want was bigger than anything, that I could not say no to it. So your intuition already knows where you are right now. Your body already knows, it feels it. You just have to trust it and move, and trust it enough to move. Because in this world, everything we've spoken about actually comes real. Because right now you have this opportunity, right? And the opportunity to break the old patterns and to be living in the new life that you are wanting. What would you love in these next, how many months till the end of the year? Maybe you can only think about the next 3 months. What would you love in the next 3 months? What would you love in the next 6 months? The next move is your identity of who you are being, of knowing that you are enough, you are worthy. And when you have the next identity, that's where the business, the clients, the money, everything will come. Whatever that looks like for you, because it's limitless. You got to know that this world that we're on, it's about personal development. Everything. Our life journey is not about money. It's not about relationships. It's a journey of us. That's why the mirror is looking at yourself. You are the mirror of your life. So do you want to be having a better life? Do you want to be having a more expansive life? Do you want to have more fun in your life, more relationships, more gratitude, more fear, more opportunities? That is who you're being. That's the next state of being. So don't listen to the old patterning that you're stuck in from fear. It is a familiar pattern. That's it. That waiting, questioning, and holding you back. It's not your truth. I want you to really look at yourself and say, what is my truth? Your truth is that you're an empowered person, woman. You're an empowered, ambitious woman. You have love for yourself. You're worthy. You're determined. You're, everybody wants to be in your energy. That is your truth. And that's how we support you, by keeping you in your highest state. That highest state that you start to transition into and start being and acting from her. You don't question it anymore. You will start moving so quickly into your next identity and next identity and next identity. Because that is what we want. We want to keep growing continuously, to be open vessels. Because the more we are open to receiving all things, that is all the abundance. It is the life, the relationships, everything that comes. So it's available. Are you going to choose it? Any questions? Because this is where we get to decide, right? And this is the thing with decisions. Sometimes it's just so nice to have a conversation, right, with us. And that's where Tracy and myself, we are here for you. So connect with either myself, connect with Tracy. She was on here, and I know if you didn't get a chance to meet her, I know Chris, what is your surname? Do you want to pop it in the chat for me? So we can just see where you are and help support you, because Tracy's not on here. She's flying. Because life is short. That's one thing I've realized now that I'm turning. I don't even like talking about my age, because age really means nothing. But the more that I lean into who I am being, I'm so young at heart, but age changes you too, to know and take more chances of life, because we only get one life. We had a young guy here who was an excellent swimmer, surfer. And I don't know what happened. He was like 17 years old, and they found his body. He got washed away. Something happened, because life can be so good one day, and the next things happen. So I want you to live your life, your grandest self. Live the life that you're meant to live, and don't compromise it anymore. Take it back. Take it back. Live the life that you're meant to live. So thank you. Any questions? I know Marissa's on work calls. Before we say goodbye, I just want you to, you're very welcome, Marissa. Did you connect with Trace? Make sure you do. You're just remember who you are, right? In all of this. You don't need me. You don't need anyone. But if you want to move faster, you want to stop the looping, want to move forward, we are here for you to support you along that journey. Okay? So trust in that. But connect with us so we can help you, and just start the conversation. where you're at, what we do, how we can help you. You are the decision maker in your life, right? I want you to stay in your truth. See you guys. Thanks so much for being here. It's been a beautiful 3 days together. Make sure you watch the replays. See you later.